Okay. All right, I'm doing a screen recording for um, just the first instruction on doing any kind of um, an update for the calendar of events. So first I'll go to pages, and then you'll see here in the main navigation we have all these pages which are not actually the nuts and bolts of the blog backend. These pages are just there to um, contain the data from the blogs that we have below. So you'll see that's in the main navigation, and the down here at not linked is where you'll see the various repositories for the events and the venues, dispensaries, all of the kind of data that we are adding and potentially taking away from the site. So let's go, since we're working on calendar of events, the icon is a little different. It has a calendar event, and you'll see up here there's calendar of events linked to the home page, and that's what page is linked here. So I'll just show you. When you click calendar of events, it links us to our front-facing calendar page. However, all this is just a collection, or what's known in Squarespace as a summary of the events that we want to display on this page. The events themselves are all housed here under calendar of events, and this displays them all in this kind of format. But before sort of getting lost in the weeds here, we should never see this page when we're navigating the website. I've designed it so that we get away from this page. It's really just to hold the events. And so, yeah, again, I'm likely to get kind of distracted and go into more detail than needed. So I'll just try and stay on the task at hand here. Okay, calendar of events. We have a new event in the email. And by pressing that plus button, we get this pop-up window for a new event. So since you have kindly organized all this information, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab both of them actually because they're formatted the same, and that's perfect. I'm going to, you're going to have to forgive all my notepads because this is basically how I do everything, and it's just a bunch of scrap paper, so you won't have that on your desk, I hope. This will be the Moe's cocktail night. So I'm just going to download that and put this onto into a folder here. So I've got my own file structure, which is also pretty messy, but Evergreen San Francisco calendar. These are the most recent calendar events images. I'm going to do the dance party too. Just have them in some folder on your desktop for later. And then I'm going to get back to our, okay, here we are. Gonna get back to our new event. I'm going to take the title, copy, paste, date and time is, start time is, it's 4:18, 6 to 9 p.m. 4:18, so we're on April 18, starting at 6 p.m., ending at 9 p.m. And so we can save that. There was more information to input in there, but since we saved it, it basically takes us to this calendar page. The event isn't published right now. It's just saved in its current form. I'm going to copy and paste this blurb. I'm going to click out of here. And I know that I said that we're never going to see the main calendar page, but we will, in the case of the calendar, see this drilled in view of the event. So I'm actually going to add to the page. Sorry, if you, I'm gonna go back here because I just assumed we knew how, everybody knew how to add images. By hovering over this, when you're in the edit mode, you'll see these plus signs, and this is kind of like how you do anything in Squarespace. You hover over and click the plus sign, and then it'll give you your options. In this case, we're just adding an image. So add an image, it gives you the choice to upload file. So I'm going to go back to my most recent folders, which has the calendar images, and I've already lost track of which one we're on. So let me just go back to here. So it's Can a Cocktail Night, Mo Greens. This is the correct image. We're going to pop this in. We are not, for any reason but other than just simplicity, we're not linking this image to any event. We could do that. I haven't been doing it, but at the moment we're not. So this is it for the image. We've plugged it into our calendar listing, and what I just did there was I hovered over it. I'm going to go back again. I hovered over the image until I got this hand symbol, and I just dragged it while holding, the mouse button. You click and drag, and then it'll just pop right into this paragraph and push the text over. It's kind of like a WYSIWYG editor, like in InDesign or something like that. So we've got our title, we've got our date set, and now if I want to click in and get more information, I can click on this title and time bar, and it'll bring up all the event settings. So we can just, there are many ways to skin this cat. Basically, we're just going to go through examples here. So we're just going to go through all the choices. Date and time, we know we already did it. We're going to add the featured image. The featured image allows us to, you'll see later on when we refer to this calendar event in our calendar page, it's going to pull this featured image. And then the excerpt, in the case of the calendar listings, we're just using the same listing here. I have been adding to the excerpt the website address. Let me just see here. There's a flyer attached. So I'm going to just do a Google search and see if there's a decent web link that we can link to. Pure Wana at Mo Greens. Okay. Over 21. Yes. Let's, for now, I'm just going to use this event. I'm gonna use this link for this event. So the way I do this is where it gets a little detailed. I'm gonna just plug in the link by copying and pasting. Now I'm gonna copy the link again, or make sure it's still copied, and then click the link button. And then here you have the link that's going to appear on the website and the link that's actually going to be linked to once it's applied. So in this case, I'm going to edit the link that's going to appear on the website because I want it to be a simple, clean link. And so you see I've just removed everything after the / There's the website. You could format this any way you wanted, but I've been keeping it simple. The HTTP, so this is the big link, the actual link that we're going to link to. That should be all set. So I click apply, and you can see right down here it populates that link. The event URL is automatically populated. Because I'm logged into my account, it's offering me the choice to have me be the author, have my brother be the author. We're not going to do we're going to do Fisherman's Wharf. We're not going to see the author, but just for safety's sake, I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any metadata, so that's why I added Fisherman's Wharf as an author in this case. And that's what may show up for metadata, but I don't know the extent to which metadata appears, but I do know that we're not listing the authors anywhere in the website. So hopefully those aren't being populated anywhere other than behind the scenes metadata. Source URL is this. So the source URL is important for the calendar events, the way we've been doing them. This is our source URL. We're just going to plug it in again here. We are going to, we could click save now, but I'm going to just keep going through the list of options. So in calendar events, we don't have any categories. You could go in and put categories in, but you'll see in another example how those categories can be helpful. The status is draft. I'm just going to go ahead and publish it because there's no real reason not to. At this point, we're going to double check that everything's all good, but it's published. Then we're going to save it, and then we can go back to our listings here, our Canna Cocktail Night. So this is edit the main listing page, but here is an important little shortcut to all of our settings, and you can just review. There's the date and time, there's the excerpt, there's the link that we added, the event URL, author, source URL. Everything looks in place. SEO, we're letting all that stuff populate automatically. We are going to use our location information, just for added detail. Like I've sort of been finding opportunities to add detail when possible, if it's not if it seems like it could be helpful. So this self-populates after you give the street address. I pop in Mo Greens. It's actually not linking to Mo Greens, it's linking to this street address, which is fine. They're probably going to get more detailed information from the website, so that's linked here. You can also, you'll see where else it's linked. But so without any further ado, we will look at, we're all saved up. Everything should be fine. I'm going to click to my calendar of events, and you'll see that the calendar summary is, this is our calendar page is displaying it in order of chronology, which is what we want. We want it to be, the situated so people see, oh, this is a calendar. I wonder what's happening on the 18th. This is what's happening on the 18th. Here's our excerpt. Here's the date that the event is going to happen. We could remove that. In fact, maybe that's a good thing to remove, but I guess it can't really hurt us to hit them over the head with the date as many times. And then you'll see when you're on this website, if you click the web address, it takes you right to our event link. That can always be updated, but for now, that's the one I'm using. Okay. To review, we're just going to do another event. We're going to do the second event that we have prepared. So I click the plus button when I'm in that events listed mode, and then I'm going to get our event title. I'm going to double check the details. It's 4:20, 2 to 6. So April 20, 2 p.m. End on 6 p.m. and save. And now we get into where we can put our blurb. So looks like it's 2 paragraphs. So I'm going to listed as one paragraph. So that's all listed. Here's the website. Here's the link. We don't need that now. It's on my clipboard. We can pop it in here at the source URL. We're going to choose Fisherman's Wharf as the author. Going to go back to grab the blurb or the excerpt. Then I'm going to have a spot for our URL. In this case, again, we hover over it. We click the link icon. Now this is somewhat interesting. If the link is the same, I've had some difficulty because this is just grayed out. So what I'll do is I'll remove it and then I will paste it again. So I just did Command X, Command V. This is a keyboard shortcut for cut and paste. And then I click apply and that creates the link. I don't know why that bug is there, but I think they're assuming you're going to change the link. And in this case, we were not. It's the same link. So anyway, excuse me, I'm going to look through here and find our image. I click the plus sign. Here's our image. Oop, didn't work for some reason. Now it's getting uploaded. Looks like a big image, so it'll take a little bit of time to populate. And let's see, come dance the night away. I'm just always doing like an extra scan or two to see if everything's in place. The status can be published because we have most of the information we need. The publishing date is never really needed in the calendar. You'll see where the publication date comes in handy in our other quote-unquote blogs, but for our calendar, the way that we're using it, we don't need to be specific about the publication date. Connect account, that's social stuff. Now we are just going to take the location, and I put it all in there because we know that that's the name of the business where this address is, and then by cutting and pasting just the address, I am able to populate this little Google map, which I'm not sure how necessary it is, but it's just kind of fun to have it populated here so that they can then click on the map. And sorry, in that case, that was taking me back to our little content editing flyout. But here I always go back to done and save. Now I can see that I already made a mistake here. I'm going to show you this way of editing again. I click on edit, and then I'm going to add an image. I had forgotten to put this image in, so here comes the image. Here comes the image. Uploaded. And then I hover over. I drag it to the left and make sure it gets sort of like sucked into this paragraph here, and it's now being used as an image that's kind of left aligned in a way that I thought looked good. Then save, and now we should be all saved. We should be all set. Let's take a look at let's get out of this sort of editing mode by clicking this thing up here. So now we have our calendar of events. We have our two events input here. We have Can a Cocktail Night. This is interesting. The way, because we have so many of these events, it's going April 16, and then like it's sort of a vertical down listing. I was thinking it was going to show this one like on the left, but it makes sense. They're kind of going from top down. So here's April 18th and then all the 420 events. Um, it's also probably organizing it by the time that the event starts, which is good and helpful. But here's, again, the link to the event is in place. So hopefully, I guess we could get in here and be more specific about our events, but we could be more specific about our link event. And let me just show you how you would do that. If you decided I don't want to just dump them at the website, I want to go back and actually give a more specific event listing or a page URL. Sorry, I'm sort of babbling now. I'm going to go to this listing, click the ellipses, get over to settings, and then I'm just going to give a different source URL. So I'll go back to our, I'm going to go back to our page. I'm going to go back to the website where this event should be listed, and I'm going to click events, and I am just going to I'm going to populate the events page because I think that's a little more specific. So the source URL, we're going to change that one. And then I actually want to change again by pressing the ellipses. You can go into the options. Sorry, where am I? Here. I'm going to change the excerpt itself to, again, here's what's shown on the front end, and here is the back end link that they're going to be dropped at. And I'm going to click apply. That's updated. You can see the original name, the simpler name is still there, but little do they know that they're going to, when they get to calendar of events, and if they click this link, they're going to go straight to the events page on the BASA website. So the only other thing I want to point out for calendar events is, let's say you click on the event itself, the image or the text, it's going to bring you to this drill in page that has all our options of adding to our Google Calendar. We can look at the map. I guess it's going to take us directly to Google Maps. This gives the address, the time, the information, any other things like the source URL, which have all updated. But now you'll see if we click back to all events, I actually did some code to make that link drop us back at our events page. If I hadn't done that, it would have brought us back to our events listing page. So I can't even remember how to get back to that events listing page. I think the way you would do it is by clicking calendar of events. This is what it would drop us off at. And I didn't want it to do that, so I inserted some code that made it go back to our calendar of events page, so that anytime anybody clicks on any of these, back to all events is going to take them back to our pretty front-facing calendar. So that should basically be it for adding calendar events. A lot of the skills or a lot of the actions behind this are repeated if we're adding dispensaries, if we're adding news items, if we're adding, even the cinema page has some similarities, but they're all slightly different in their peculiarities. So this was just a good example of how to do the calendar of events. And now, as far as I can see, everything should be all set. We've got 420, we've got 420, 418, 420. Here are the blurbs. You can always do an extra check. This brings us to the event place itself. The title brings us to our own drill in page. So it looks like everything's good. I'm going to stop our screen recording. Is that what this is?